Flirting with perfection, but the 11 straight wins to begin the year are a distant memory after 2 straight losses. According to FPI, Pittsburgh had a 1 in 3 chance of getting to the Super Bowl through Week 12, but those chances have been cut in half. So, what's the problem? Well, it's easy. Costly errors on offense. Over. Kansas City has a 96% chance to earn home field advantage to the AFC playoffs, and the Steelers haven't earned a 1 seed since 2004. And for more on tonight's game, let's bring back Marcus Spears. Marcus, the Steelers have now lost 2 in a row after starting the season 11-0. What are you looking for tonight to show you that they are moving in the right direction?
Yeah, I want to see some physicality up front, Ryan. I want to see some type of establishment of a run game, of a physical run game with Benny Snell, obviously Connor being out tonight. But when you look at this football team, yes, Big Ben can throw it fast and the receivers can make plays after the catch. But I want to see the Pittsburgh Steelers attempt to run the football against the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll need it as they go further along in the playoffs. And I think because of that, because they try to establish that, we'll get the Pittsburgh Steelers in a win. I'm going 27-17 because they will be trying to gain some yardage on the ground.
All right, you called it, and if they follow your prediction, they clinch the AFC North tonight. Looking forward to this AFC North showdown, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Marcus, thank you so much for the time.
In the midst of a global pandemic, one team sport led the way to resuming their season using a bubble, daily testing, and strict protocols to ensure the safety of its players and the well-being of the sport. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver navigated the league through a difficult yet successful summer, and he'll continue to do it tomorrow as a new season begins, this time outside of a bubble. Today, Silver spoke with Stephen A. Smith on First Take.
Getting vaccinated for COVID-19. Can you talk to me about that? How are you guys going to go about doing that?
For the most part, because our players are young and healthy without some sort of comorbidity, they will not be a high priority for vaccinations. I mean, there are some other members of the NBA community working, on court who are older and will have a higher priority.
How is the NBA going to be able to enforce protocols in 30 different locations? It was hard enough, I imagine, doing so in a bubble.
We'll have all kinds of procedures in place to attempt to assure that our protocols are followed. And of course, to the extent they aren't, we'll address it. And I think one of the conversations we've been having with our Players Association is we may have to adjust our protocols as we go, depending on how things are working. But to your point, this is going to be a far different environment than being in a bubble.
Can you foresee, is there any kind of scenario that you can envision where this season can ultimately end up being postponed?
We wouldn't be acting responsibly, and I wouldn't be acting responsibly if I said it's just full steam ahead no matter what. Having said that, I mean, based on our experience in the bubble, we have a fair degree of confidence in our approach.
All right, well, can't wait for this. The Rockets open up their season Wednesday night against the Thunder. James Harden, he's still in a Houston uniform despite pushing for a trade. The Heat moved on from trade talks with Harden. Houston was looking for draft assets, and Miami could only offer a first-round pick in 2027. Royce Young has more on Houston.
Another frustrating start for the Houston Rockets, and goes up inside, blocked by Caruso.
A lot has happened since the Rockets lost in 5 games to the Lakers in the second round. Coach Mike D'Antoni didn't return. General manager Daryl Morey resigned and took another job. Rumors of disgruntlement billowed around their 2 stars, eventually leading to Russell Westbrook being traded, as the clock seemingly ticks on the same outcome for James Harden. Their offseason was basically the 2020 NBA version of how it started, where it's going.
Because of the way they played, they took a Warriors team, fully loaded, 7 games.
The Rockets have been relentlessly bold in their attempt to climb to the top, fearlessly taking on the juggernaut Warriors and audaciously adapting with experimental tactics. But brazen risk-taking can't compute with sustainability forever, and the bell appears to have tolled for Houston. They still have Harden, though. They have hopes John Wall will rediscover his all-star form. They have the bones of a good team in place, and as long as Harden remains, they'll be in the thick of the West race.
Harden's going to wind up in a position where he'll have a chance to win a championship. The Rockets will not.
But with so many questions and a wandering eye from their franchise player, it's just a simple question. How much longer can it last?
Now, Monday was the deadline to sign some veteran extensions, and on the eve of the season, some players getting paid. The Magic signed Jonathan Isaac and former first overall pick Markelle Fultz. The Spurs inked starting guard Derek White, and after hitting a memorable buzzer beater in the playoffs, remember that? The Raptors agreed to terms with OG Anunoby. All right, and the NBA season starts tomorrow night. There are 13 games on the docket for Wednesday. We got the last one of the night. Luka and the Mavs are in Phoenix to take on Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and the Suns. 10:30 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, as well as the ESPN app. That is gonna be a showdown.
And wait, by the way, still ahead after the Jets' shocking win put their 2021 first overall draft pick in jeopardy. Don't miss the Mort Report on potential future fallout in New York. And with Tom Brady leading the Bucs' comeback win against the Falcons, could this season's slow start become a playoff problem for Tampa? That's coming up.
Welcome back to SportsCenter. Ashley Brewer, Ryan Smith with you, and that's your boy Juju Smith-Schuster. Hey, getting it, dancing on the Bengals logo. Hey, he did it last week in Buffalo. He got a little heat for it, but looks like that didn't stop him because he's doing it again. Boom, spike. You'll see that on TikTok for sure later. He's got a fire TikTok account. Monday Night Football is happening on ESPN tonight at 8 o'clock.
We'll see if he gets some heat from the Bengals.
Hey,
by the way, let's talk Kentucky. John Calipari asked Cameron Fletcher to, quote, step away from the team after the freshman was visibly upset in Saturday's loss to North Carolina. Though Fletcher has apologized, Calipari said he must preserve a culture that, quote, will not change despite the Wildcats' 1-5 start. Now, Calipari released a series of tweets saying, we have asked Cam Fletcher to take some time and step away from the team. He needs to reflect and do some soul searching to get his priorities in order. Any attitude or actions that are detrimental to this team will not be tolerated, and that goes for everyone on the team. We have a culture here that's been built over the last 11 years, and it will not change. Through good times and bad, this culture is meant to change individuals and change maturity levels. This hurts our team, but this is about Cam and his future.
All right, so his team may not be winning a whole lot of games, and neither had the Jets until yesterday. Talk about a reversal of fortunes. The Jets and Jags' chances to land that coveted 2021 number 1 overall pick basically flip-flopped after the Jets won their first game of the season over the Rams on Sunday. New York went from a 76 to a 26% chance to land the top pick. The head coach and quarterback touched on the fallout.